Yo, what is up, guys? It's Skullburner33 here, and today I'm back for another video. It's been a while since I recorded my last video. I've been kind of up to date with school and doing my homework and all that, so I haven't been able to really keep up with YouTube, and I'm a gamer, so that's just my second home playing video games. But today I wanted to make a new video, and the gaming collection. Before I start, actually, don't worry about that. I will be uploading more to my gaming collection. I'll be doing the Wii and the PlayStation and the Nintendo in probably a couple of days, or even tonight if I have the time. I'll do that, and I'll give you guys another video for that. But today, what I wanted to be talking about is Black Ops 3. I finally got the game. It came out on Thursday. I went to the midnight release with my brother, and we all got it. And I got the hardened edition. And I told you guys in my last video that I would be doing an unboxing of it. And although I've already opened it and played it for about a couple of days, I can still show you what we got out of it. So here's the case right here. See, it says Black Ops 3 hardened edition on it. And you got your dude with his little guns. That's actually the main menu guy that you'll see when on the press start screen. And here's the back, showing you the bonus stuff you'll get. What you got here is the steelbook case, which I'll be showing, and then the specialist cards, which I'll be showing the descriptions of. And then you got your 4 little special items, which is the soundtrack, the 2 gun camos that you get, and then the giant, which is a bonus zombies map, which is a remake of DeReese from World at War and Black Ops 1. But yeah, without further ado, to start this off, I'm going to go ahead and get right into the main course right here, which is the steelbook case. Here's the front of it. Of course, obviously it's metal, side showing you the Black Ops 3. But yeah, this is the front. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of difficult. You have to be in the right lighting, but you'll see there's a 3 on the front of it. You can see right there is the tip of it. It's a 3 in front of the guy. And here's the back, which this is the zombies side of it, where you got the main guy, who I don't even know who this is. I don't know if it's the Shadow Man or if it's just some demonic figure. But then here's the mark of the curse, which you'll see in Shadows of Evil on the people's hands if you've been watching and keeping up to date with that. And then there's the inside of the case, which has right here, you can see it's a picture of the guy who is on the main menu screen, and it's his main pose pretty much in black and white, which makes it look really decent. But yeah, that's the steelbook case. So yeah, main course of that. It's really decent to have that put for your game. Then we'll get into the bonus stuff that comes specifically with pre-ordering it, and let alone pre-ordering the hardened edition like I did. Start off with what you get just by basically pre-ordering it. You get the Nuketown bonus map, which of course there's always a Nuketown with Black Ops. What would a Black Ops game be without Nuketown? But yeah, we get the Nuketown bonus map. It's really futuristic. I think it's like 2065 now, I believe. But it's very futuristic like, and it's kind of holographic. You got robot mannequins and all that, but it's a really fun map to play with friends and all that. So that's really good. And then you have your 4 things that you get with the hardened edition. You get the giant bonus zombies map, like I said, the weaponized 115 camo, the cyborg camo, and the Call of Duty soundtrack. And of course there's the codes on the back of it. But that's that. And now the main course of what we had to offer with the hardened edition, which is the specialist cards, which come with a very clear description of the specialist and just exactly what they can do in their background. So I'm going to do them in the order that I have them here. Put them down here. Start off. First is the Reaper, which is the robot specialist that you unlock at level 34, and he has his 2 specialist abilities, which are Psychosis, which allow him to create clones, and Scythe, which is a death machine that he creates out of his hand, which he uses to shoot. So here's the picture of him that comes on the card. It's him kind of walking through the battlefield. That's his death machine attached to his hand on the left side of the screen, and on the right is his gun. There he is walking away, like I said, from the battlefield. And I'll read you his description. I'll keep the picture up so you can see it. But yeah, let's see, Reaper, the product of a cutting-edge military R&D project to supplement special operations soldiers in the field, Experimental War Robot 115 was one of a single unit of advanced prototype combat robots running the most sophisticated AI software ever seen. After several politically embarrassing mishaps and budget overruns, the project was cancelled and most of the prototypes stripped for parts. Fate had other plans for EWR-115 when years later it was discovered to have been stolen. Reports of sightings of the terrible machine on battlefields around the world began to surface. No one knows why it fights or who, if anyone, is issuing its orders. So it's kind of a whole secret type thing. It was a robot that was working for the soldiers, and then it got kidnapped it got decommissioned because of bad things that it did, and then it got kidnapped and stolen and is now being used for wars still again. So I'll give you the more clear description of its two abilities. Psychosis. Sophisticated hacking subroutines penetrate the DNI systems of Reaper's foes, creating multiple copies of the deadly machine in their minds. So it's really an illusion that makes it seem like there's more of them, so you don't know which one is which. And then the Scythe. Reaper's armor peels away to reveal an arm-mounted minigun laying waste to the battlefield, which is the death machine, which is a fun gun to use. Next specialist we have is the Seraph, which is the 54 Immortals girl. If you played the campaign, you'll know who they are. She's holding her pistol, which is her specialist weapon, the Annihilator, and the other weapon she has, or ability, is the Combat Focus, which allows you to get your score streaks quicker. So again, here's her picture of her holding the gun, and I'll read the description of her. The only child of a feared officer of the 54 Immortals, He Zen was raised within the ranks of the Singapore Quarantine Zone's ruling criminal combine. She proved to be an excellent and dedicated pupil, learning the traditions and honored lineage of the organization while pursuing martial training with a single-minded determination. She worked hard not to disappoint her father or the Combine's leadership. At 17, she was elevated to the rank of Enforcer, one of the few who policed the Combine from within while ruthlessly executing the will of the 54i wherever and whenever it might be required. So that's her backup line. She's part of the 54 Immortals, again, people that you will learn about if you play the campaign. And her two abilities are A is Combat Focus, which by drawing on her martial training, Seraph's obvious strategic mastery of the battlefield qualifies her for increased tactical support, which again, it allows you to get your score streaks faster, making the scores that are required to gain them lower. The Annihilator, designed specifically for Seraph, firing this high-caliber pistol's depleted uranium rounds would break the armor of a non-augmented soldier. So it's very strong and penetrable, and it's got a very long range on it. So that's the Seraph. The next specialist is the specialist that wasn't in the beta, but was announced about 2 weeks before Black Ops 3 came out, and that's the Firebreak. Right here, this dude with the flamethrower who's really freaking cool. Really badass, and looks like he's got a freaking Spartan helmet on. His two abilities are a flash called Heat Wave, which is kind of like when you come out of the dark and you step into the light, and it you gotta shield your eyes to adjust to it. It's kind of like that. And then the Purifier, which is his flamethrower. So I'll read you his description. Firebreak. Prague-born Christoph Hijek is a battlefield problem solver. Armed with a powerful arsenal of weaponry, he effectively resolves numerous issues over and over again using his favorite tool, fire. Whether it's direct one-on-one confrontation or the strategic denial of areas, there's no questioning Hijek's utility, even if the results of his work can be hard to stomach. Working up close and personal with flame is something that very few volunteer to do, but Hijek thrives on it. He and fire appear to have come to an understanding. Usually calm and dispassionate, the only time he truly lights up is when his enemies do. So, he's in the fire. He's a very big pyrotechnic. So yeah, that's him, and I'll read you a more descriptive description of his two specialist abilities. Heat Wave. Rapid cycling heat sinks dump a stored thermal charge which stuns enemies near the user, which, like I said, is like that flash. And then the Purifier, a flamethrower that projects a steady stream of heat, incinerating anyone or anything unfortunate enough to be engulfed by it. A very strong flamethrower, to be sure. Alright, so that's Firebreak. Next specialist is Ruin, which is the one with the gravity spikes, who kind of reminds me of Tank from Zombies, but, you know, we'll not get into that. Here he is jumping on the freaking dude with his gravity spikes in hand. So yeah, I'll read you the description of him. Ruin, born into a military family and raised in a tough neighborhood, Donnie Walsh grew up fearless and headstrong. Joining the army straight out of high school, Walsh is an infantry soldier through and through. The battlefield has become his second home. He is suspicious of covert ops and anything that operates outside of the established chain of command. Viewing them as dishonorable, he prefers a straight-up fair fight and knows that there's never a substitute for good boots on the ground. Now cybernetically augmented, he uses his unique abilities to rush headlong into the fray, meeting his enemies with sheer, unadulterated, and overwhelming force. So he's very strong, and he shows no mercy when it comes to war. So, once again, there's this picture, and I'll read you his description of his specialist abilities. Overdrive, high power graphene supercapacitors and ruins legs discharge, allowing him to overrun his enemies using short bursts of incredible speed. So it kind of allows him to run fast for a temporary time. Gravity spikes, twin charges drive deep into the ground, sending out a powerful expanding seismic shockwave that destroys everything in range. So he's got some very strong gravity spikes, so he just jumps up and just slams it down and just kills anything within the range of the blast. Our next specialist is the Nomad. This is our reject guy who has the second chance ability, and the Hive, which shoots out the nano bees, so I'll read his description. Using his survivalist training to stay alive, Tavo Rojas has gone off-grid. An ex-member of the elite Colombian Rapid Deployment Force, Spectre, he is an expert in jungle warfare, able to blend into the forest and survive off of the land almost indefinitely. After discovering too late that the targets of their last S&D mission were their own, his unit was broken up, its members reassigned to other teams. Soon, under suspicious circumstances, his ex-squad mates started turning up dead. As sole survivor, he seeks retribution for his fallen friends, using his skills to turn the environment against his enemies. So he is a hacker, pretty much, and he uses a lot of sneaky moves. Reject, when near death, an injection floods Nomad's body with a nanite serum capable of rapidly reconstructing damaged tissue and organs. So second chance, it allows him to come back to life. Hive deploys traps which release swarms of deadly nano drones when tripped, rapidly stripping the flesh from the victim's bones. Painful, but it's really effective in the game. We got 4 left. If I don't get through them all, I'll show you the rest later. The next is the Prophet, which is the one with the Tempest, and his ability to time travel. Get right into it so I don't have to waste time. Growing up in London, David Wilkes always possessed machine empathy, naturally understanding their function. Dismantling and reassembling electronics and machines was second nature to him. While serving in the British Engineering Corps, the first set of cybernetic implants he received will jumpstart him on a path to become closer to the metal. He believes that the fusion of man and machine is the obvious next step away to the short-circuit evolution. Now heavily upgraded, he represents the cutting edge of the human weapon on the battlefield, using his superior technology and skills to disrupt his opponent's strategies before moving in for the kill. So, he's in the robots. And his abilities glitch. Prophet's affinity for electronics allows him to hack the battle simulation, returning him to an earlier point in time. So if he's running in front of you and you're behind him, he can teleport behind you and kill you. Tempest, this charged shot rifle discharges arcs of electricity that shock targets and disrupts their nervous systems before chaining to nearby enemies. So a kind of electric shock that shoots out of this gun that if anyone comes in contact with the person who's shocked, will shock them also. The next specialist is the Spectre, which is the one that can go invisible and has these really cool lightsaber prong things that come out of his hands. I'll get into it. Next to nothing is known about the presumed wet work specialist Spectre. The designation itself is a code name agreed upon by the various agencies that have pooled their intelligence on unsolved assassinations, inferring his or her existence based on either evidence found at the scene or from fragmentary reports given by shaken bystanders. Despite heavy redaction, all accounts suggest an individual capable of extraordinary stealth, able to evade or neutralize the most sophisticated of manned or automated security setups. In every case, Spectre's victims have been slain with surgically precise, midline stab wounds with rarely any signs of struggle. And the active camo. Advanced metamaterials rapidly change the properties, guiding photons over their surfaces instead of reflecting them, rendering Spectre temporarily invisible. So it's the invisible ability, pretty much. The Ripper Spectre deploys mono-edged twin blades before gracefully dissecting victims with lethal surgical precision, which are the little blades that we see in the picture. I don't have time to go through the last 2 in detail, but you pretty much know what they are. They're the main default ones that you get with the game, and that's these 2 right here, which is the Outrider, which is the one with the Sparrow and the Vision Pulse. The Sparrow is a bow and arrow. The Vision Pulse allows you to see through walls, pretty much. And the Battery, which comes with kinetic armor and War Machine. The kinetic armor makes you invincible to bullets for a certain amount of time, and the War Machine, obviously, you know, is the grenade launcher. Those are these 2. But yeah, the reason I'm out of time is because I wanted to take the last couple minutes of this video, you know, just to say thank you to you guys who watch my videos and all that. I know there's a lot of my friends out there at school who watch my videos. I don't know how you guys found out, besides the ones that I told, like Gage. Shout out to him if you watch this video. I'm not even gonna say it. I'll tell you probably when I go to school. But yeah. But thanks for the support. I know I'm just a small channel that is just starting off, but I'll get there eventually. And also I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Nicholas, who his channel's name is Science Experiments versus Pranks versus Vlogs. He's a really cool guy. He's very organized with his YouTube channel, and he keeps his videos updated just like that, unlike me, because I have a lot more stuff I'm focused on, but he is like dedicated to his YouTube channel. So if you go check him out, I think he's given me a shout out once or twice, so I had to repay the favor. But with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. That was the Black Ops 3 Hardened Edition. I'll be uploading more videos soon, and peace out.